Our team, our community. This is Condors Town, and this is another Energy Condors connection. Now, here's Erik Fox and Ryan Holt.
Oh, it feels so good to hear that intro again. It's been a little bit of a time, but it is back, and we are back for week number 2 of Condors Connection here with Energy 95.3. My name is Erik Fox here at the offices of Energy 95.3. On the other side of my screen is my brother from another mother, Ryan Holt from the Bakersfield Condors. How you doing, my friend?
I'm great. It's a little chilly this week to start the week, so it feels like hockey season.
It definitely was a weird thing yesterday to walk out of the door and like, what is this water stuff from the sky? It's a little different, but
there's measurable rain in Bakersfield.
Not only that, but for all the firefighters who've been working so hard up there north of here, so hopefully that helped you guys out. And I know how hard they're working. I have some friends who are firefighters up there, and they were just like, yes, even absolutely. That 0.01 matters. So Good to hear that. Let's go and jump right into it. Of course, we talk weekly here about all things Condors, because, of course, we are Condors Town. So, first of all, we always talk about the big team, the parent organization, the Edmonton Oilers. So, they've definitely had a very good start to the season, as first 2 games of the season got a W on the board for them.
Yeah, especially the second win there over Calgary. Anytime you beat your provincial rival in the Battle of Alberta, that gets everyone excited. So, it's a great start for the Oilers. Kind of expected the way they're playing. I think is how we can kind of expect them. I think most of this season, they're going to be a pretty good team. They're going to be a team that's expected to make the playoffs and expected to do things in the postseason. So, good start, and always good to beat Calgary. Anytime we beat them, that's great. And now taking on the Ducks tonight and getting set to face an American team for the first time in a couple of years. So kind of strange, but always good to renew those Pacific Division rivalries.
Well, we were talking about that right before we go live. It's like, didn't even think about that. I'm like, they've been pure Canadian team for a good year. Now they're getting a chance to get a little taste outside. And of course, full disclaimer here, I am a Ducks fan, so I'm looking forward to the game tonight because there's never love lost between Edmonton and the Ducks. What are you looking forward to tonight?
Yeah, there has to be one Ducks fan, right?
Here.
I think on the Ducks, the Ducks are kind of in that, that tweener stage, I guess, of, a lot of young talent. You look at, Zegras and Drysdale and a couple other forwards up front that they've had over the last couple of years. And, is this the year they kind of take a step forward, with the young players? Kind of reminds me of the Oilers a couple of years back. You're kind of in that tweener stage of, are you developing or are we going forward or what are we doing here? So we'll see. Mm-hmm. And I think, the first half of the season kind of dictates that, right? Like if you're in the mix, maybe you hold on to things. If you're not in the mix, you're kind of like, well, we're rebuilding, stay with us,
right.
So, I think I don't think the expectations are too high down in Anaheim. I think they'd be thrilled to sneak into a playoff spot. I think would kind of be their mindset. But Zegras,
it's definitely interesting so far because we're going early in the season. They've already had a pretty good start, including taking down Calgary in overtime. So and
that's the thing too. Like we've seen Zegras for the last year. I mean, this kid is out of this world in terms of his talent and skill level and kind of moxie that he has. I think he's going to be great, in the future, and he's a good player now. So we'll see what happens. But I like the way Anaheim and LA went about things, in terms of how they kind of rebuilt and kind of let the prospects kind of develop, as opposed to maybe the Sharks, who kind of hung on to the old guard, I think, a little bit too long, and I think it's kind of hurting them right now.
That's going to be definitely interesting to see. So once again, the Ducks and Edmonton playing tonight, and you and I both have seen the playoff series with these two teams, so there is definitely no love lost between those two. So that's going to be a heck of a game to watch tonight. Not only Edmonton has had a good start to the season, but let's jump over to our Condors, as they have had an amazing start to the season, taking on both Abbotsford and San Jose, both getting W's on the board. What were you seeing with those first couple games?
Yeah, I thought Saturday night was a tremendous, hockey game. The Condors led after one, and then trailed after 2 and fought back and ended up, winning the game in the third period. And then Sunday was a 1-0 shutout, 34 saves from Stuart Skinner, and he was dialed in, and he looks like, the elite number 1 goaltender that, the Condors have come to rely upon. Usually it's the Condors out shooting the other team in a game. That's usually the breadbasket, I guess, for this Condors team. But, they only had 15 shots in the game and ended up giving up 34, and Skinner was there to stop all 34 on Sunday. So great to get 2 wins. Seth Griffith had 4 points. Adam Cracknell had 2 goals. So a lot of the mainstays from the last year or so that were driving the offense, picked right back up where they left off. So great to see. Got some reinforcements from Edmonton. William Lageson's coming down. He was part of the Calder Cup run a couple of years ago, and now comes back to Bakersfield, and just a tremendous defenseman for this team. I think it's going to be a huge benefit for a couple of the younger players like Philip Broberg, who's a 20-year-old Swedish defenseman, first-round pick. Lageson's a Swede as well too, so they have that natural chemistry just from being from the same country. So I'm really excited to get Wild Bill back in town. He's a great person, great for the locker room, and he's a heck of a hockey player too. So however long we have him is great, and we'll look forward to that because it's a big weekend coming up.
Yeah, we're talking about the big weekend coming up. First time playing a road game in the season. Definitely, last year was a rough start for the Condors before they turned around and just went on a tear. A good start so far. Going on the road to Ontario this weekend. What are you looking for with the road games? Yeah,
Ontario has played two games so far, and they got 3 points out of 4, so a good start for them. And I kind of thought that they were still going to be a younger leaning side. I think they are still younger leaning, but they got some help from LA. I wasn't expecting Martin Ferk to be in Ontario this year. He's probably the hardest shot in maybe all of hockey. It's close. I mean, he's a tremendous goal scorer, tremendous power play guy. So Condors have their work cut out for them, certainly, with a guy like Ferk. And then Stockton comes to town on Saturday, and no need to mince any words with that. Stockton, Bakersfield, Heat, Condors. It's going to be fantastic on Saturday night. So
definitely one of the most heated rivalries is when you see both Stockton and the Condors on the same sheet of ice. It's definitely something you don't want to miss.
No, and it's good too. I think for the Condors, I think we've seen now we're going to see 4 teams by the end of the week, and we get Colorado on Wednesday the following week, and then Henderson on the weekend. So you're going to get to see the Pacific Division, a good chunk of it, here in the opening week. I think the only team we wouldn't have seen is Tucson. I think early on, Tucson and then San Diego. So we'll see them plenty, but I think it's great to kind of measure yourself early on as opposed to maybe playing a team twice or, back-to-back games, things like that. We kind of get a good swath of the Pacific here early on just to kind of see what's happening with some other teams.
Well, it's definitely nice having some new normality when it comes to the teams coming through. Like you said, it felt like last year we played Henderson like 17 times in a row. So it's nice to have that little mixture.
We had 3 series against Henderson back to back to back, and then we played them in the playoffs. So it felt like we were in Vegas for a month and a half.
Well, it's definitely going to be fun to watch. People who want tickets, how do they get those?
Yeah, condorstown.com, Saturday night, 7:00. Doors open at 6. We've got it was the big 6-pack. Now it's like big 5 plus 1. So that gets you into Teddy Bear Toss coming up in November as well, too. So great deals. Will save you money. I know there's fees out the wahoo, all over the place. We'll save you off all the fees. And, even if you only come to a couple of games a year, it's definitely, with the flex packs and the 10 tickets and the 20 tickets, it'll save you money off trying to buy 5 tickets at the box office for one game. I swear that's a Holty guarantee for you.
Oh, if you get a Holtby guarantee, that can be taken right to the bank.
I'll give you my seats up in the nosebleed.
Well, I'm going to have to join you up in your seats up in the rafters at some point this season. Looking forward to that, and looking forward to continuing a good time here in Condors Town. As once again, your Bakersfield Condors 2-0 going into the weekend on the road with Ontario, and then the Stockton games are always good. I love being in the crowds for the Stockton games, so that's going to be a lot of fun. So that's all going down this weekend. Ryan Holt, I appreciate the time as always, my friend.
Appreciate you, and I guarantee we'll have a player guest next week. I'm guaranteeing that too.
Love that. Next week, of course, we'll be back with you once again right here with Energy 95.3 and your Bakersfield Condors. All right here.